Hello and welcome to this, the third Old Classic Car Quiz, testing your knowledge of cars from the 1930s through to the 1980s. This quiz is all about identifying old cars in photos, where just part of each car is in view. There are 50 cars to identify in all. Each clipped photo is shown for 15 seconds, then is followed by the full image and identification. Score yourself as you go along, no cheating, although pausing the video for extra thinking time is fine, and let me know in the comments how you got along. When you're finished, try the first two quizzes, which combine car identification along with classic car general knowledge questions. Okay, grab pencil and paper and let's crack on, and good luck. Right, photo number one, there you go, a white car, classic car, clearly a four-door saloon, but what car is this one? Like I say, each photo is shown for 15 seconds only and is followed by the answer and the full image. There you go, there's the answer to the first photo, a Ford Zodiac Mark III 6204 FD. Next up, what's this little gem here? Painted black, of course, a few little period optional extras on this particular one, but what car is that? Make and model, please. There you go, the Austin A35 two-door saloon, complete with a period sun visor, mirrors, and a few other little goodies on that particular car. That was at the Capesthorne Hall Classic Car Show. Okay, car number 3 this time. Slightly more obscure this time, but what car is this? There you go, it's a Falcon Caribbean. This is a Ford-based special of the late 1950s, early 1960s. Basically, you buy a Ford pop chassis, throw the body away, and fit one of these sporty bodies and tune the engine up and so on. Car number 4 now. What is this? There you go. It's a Sunbeam Rapier of the early 1970s, quite a rare car now, very, very different to the Rapiers that came before, quite sleek. And again, I think this was at Capesthorne Hall. It's a white example alongside on period alloys. Now, car number 5, what is this? Just got part of the car's roofline visible there, but what car is that? There should be enough clues to give this one away. There you go, it's the Jensen 541, or in this case the 541R. Wonderful car. Okay, next up, red car, period Minilite style wheels here, but what car is that? Make and model, please. Several different versions of this car were produced, so I need to know the exact one that we're shown here. There you go, it's a Triumph GT6 and a Mark II. The Mark II was the only one of the GT6s to have the little louvers on the side of the bonnet there. So that's the giveaway that this is a Mark II. Okay, classic car number 7. What is this particular saloon car? This was seen a few years ago at the Tatton Park Classic Car Show. A stalwart of motoring back in the old days, but what car is this? There you go, there's the answer. It's a Hillman Minx of the mid-1950s. I'm not quite sure which version this is. The early cars had a side valve engine that was replaced by an overhead valve unit in about 55 or 1956 or thereabouts. Okay, car number 8. What is this one? And the answer is the Riley 1.5, based loosely on the Morris Minor underpinnings, but this had the B-Series engine, 1500cc in standard form and twin carburetors, sold alongside the Wolseley 1500. Okay, car number 9 now in the quiz. What car is this? Side-on view, obviously, vinyl roof, that's correct for the period, but what car is it? This was down at the Dover Transport Museum, so if you've seen a video of our visit there, then you'll know exactly what this car is. And there it is, in its all its glory, the Austin A90 Atlantic of the 1950s. Okay, photo number 10, we're a fifth of the way through now. What car is this? quite an unusual one, so if you get this one right, maximum brownie points. And there is the answer. It is a Winchester taxi. This one registered 1966. Probably the only one of these I've ever seen. There's a lovely old Bedford lorry alongside, ex-World War II. Okay, next up in the quiz, question number 11. What car is this one? And the answer is the Land Rover Series 1. This was down at Goodwood Revival a few years back. Really bonny little example, quite an early one with the headlights behind the grille. Okay, front on view now of another classic car, but what is it? This was actually one of Dad's cars a few years ago. He owned this one, ran it for quite a few years. Really smart example of the breed, but what car is it? Of course, it's the Vandenplas 1300, a 1275 transverse engine. This one was automatic, but they were also available as a manual gearbox car. The manual gearbox car had twin carburetors, the auto had a single carb. Okay, number 13 in this classic car quiz. What car is this one? And there is the answer. It is a Jaguar S-Type, of course, very similar to the Mark II from the front, but the hooded headlights are the giveaway, as are the side lights and indicators at the bottom of the front wings there, very distinctive for the S-Type and totally different to the Mark II. Okay, what's this little gem? I'll give you a clue. It's from the 1950s, late 40s, early 1950s, but more than that I'm not going to say. There are several variants of this particular car, so I need the exact model name for this one, please. And it is the standard Vanguard Phase 1. The Phase 1A, which was also the Beetleback design, had thicker grille bars, but the Phase 1, the first of this Vanguards, had this type with the very narrow grille slats. Okay, carrying on now. What car is this? There you go, it is, of course, the Mini Moke of the 1960s. This one's a 1967 car, based on the Mini, of course. Originally designed with the military in mind, but they weren't too keen for some reason. Okay, question number 16. What is this little gem? It is, of course, a Singer Roadster. Right, question number 17. What do we have here? This red two-door car, but is there enough of it shown there for you to be able to identify it? I'm sure you can. There it is, a Gilburn Genie, Wales's finest Ford-powered fiberglass bodied car. Quite a rare sight nowadays, but sometimes you see the later Invaders. Okay, number 18 in the old classic car quiz. What is this? The answer, of course, is the Ford Consul Classic. This is a four-door version. You could also get the two-door saloon and the rakish coupe, the Consul Capri. Number 19 now. What is this swoopy little number? And the answer, of course, all the way from Yorkshire, Bradford in particular, is the Jowett Jupiter. Quite a revolutionary car back in the day. Number 20, we're getting through these. Now I need the exact make and model name of this particular car. And there are various different models with this shape of bodywork, but what is this particular one? There is a giveaway in this photograph. The answer is the Ford Prefect 107E. You can have the 100E prefect, but this is the 107E with the overhead valve rather than side valve engine. The giveaway is a little dog leg on the front wing trim there. Next up, a classic car here, dark blue, but what car is it? Panel gaps aren't perfect on this particular example, and this was a trait of this line of cars, but what car is it? It is, of course, the Triumph Vitesse. The giveaway that it's a Vitesse rather than a Herald is the 2-litre badge that was visible in the little clip that I showed before. This one's on Mini-Lite style wheels. A lot of fun, 2-litre car, straight 6. Okay, number 22. Going to the pre-war car years now, but what car is this one? It is, of course, the Ford Model Y. This is a short rad car, so it's a fairly early example. The later ones had a deeper, taller radiator and a slight dip in the front bumper, but this is an early example, probably about 1932 or 33. I have a real close-up view now of a car. I'll give you a clue. It's post-war, but what car is this one? This is number 23 in this collection of 50 quiz photos. It is, of course, the Triumph TR2. The TR3 and the 3A had slightly different grille arrangements. The TR2's was recessed, as you can see here. Okay, number 24. Obviously a race-prepared car, but what car is it? And the answer, seen at Alton Park a few years back, is the Austin Healey Sprite Mark 1, or the Frog Eye Sprite, as it was often called in this country, and the Bug Eye Sprite in America. Right, we're at the halfway point now, you'll be glad to know. And what car is this one? If you need to pause the video to have a bit of a think or sharpen your pencil again, by all means do so, but no cheating otherwise. This is a Singer Vogue, this particular car from 1965, based on the Hillman Super Minx, the upmarket version of the Minx if you like, and I do like these. Right, we're over halfway through now, photo number 26 out of 50, but what car is this one? Quite a distinctive shape, not everyone was sold on the particular look of this car, but what is it? And it is the Rolls-Royce Camargue. Thanks to Vince for sending this photo over, and I've used it here. A two-door car, coupe-ish. American market was very much in mind with this particular car, but I'm not entirely sold on the styling of it myself. Okay, number 27 out of 50. What car are we looking at in this particular photo? And it is the Ford Escort RS Turbo Series 1 from 1985. Let me know in the comments if this is too easy or too difficult, and I can adjust future quizzes accordingly. Now, number 28, back to a pre-war car, I'll tell you that much, but what car is it? Austin fans will know the answer to this one. It is, of course, the Austin Big 7, which was a slightly grown-up version of the Austin Ruby. Question 29. Back to the old photographs for a moment. This one was taken over on the Wirral somewhere in the early 1960s, I believe. But what is the car? It is, of course, the Vauxhall Victor FB. There's a nice little minx in the background. Now, number 30. Slightly unusual looking car. Didn't sell in huge numbers back in the day. Bit of a collaboration between a couple of different manufacturers and the engine from another manufacturer. But what car is it? It is the Jensen Healey. Rightio, back to Alton Park, I'll tell you that much. But what car is this one? This should be fairly easy, I would have thought. Anyone who was around in the 1970s or 1980s will know this one. It is, of course, the Rover SD1. Number 32 now, just a close-in view. And there's enough here to be able to identify it to the exact make and model. There are several variations on a similar theme, but I need to know the exact make and model of this one, please. It is the Austin A60 Cambridge, very similar in shape to the Morris Oxford, of course, but the Morris Oxford had a little trim strip that ran down the sill, which the Cambridge didn't have, so that identifies it as the Austin version. This car from 1966. Okay, bright orange car here, but what is it? It is British, I'll tell you that much, but more than that I'm not going to say just now. There's your answer, it's the Ginetta G15, based on Hillman Imp running gear. Now, question 34 in this classic car quiz. Going back to pre-war days just for a moment once again, but what is this magnificent car? The name was used in the post-war years, but a very different car. And there you go, it's the pre-war late 1930s Triumph Dolomite. This was at the NEC Classic Car Show a couple of years ago. Still quite a few questions to go. Number 35, what is this? There's your answer, it is a Vauxhall Cresta, circa 1966. Car 36 now, looking somewhat dishevelled, but there's enough here to identify it. That structure on the inner wing there is a bit of a giveaway if you know your British cars, or especially if you know your dismantled British cars. There you go, it's an MGB GT. In fact, there are a pair of them there. Okay, classic car, number 37. This is a particularly famous example of the breed, but I just need the make and model of this one. I don't expect you to know the particular car. There's your answer, Jaguar D-Type. This one, 774RW, was the 1955 Le Mans winner. Okay, we're up to number 38 now. Close in view of the rear three quarters of a particular car. There's enough there to give it away, but what car is it? It is, of course, the wonderfully stylish AC Seeker. Basically the fixed head fastback version of the AC Ace. Number 39 now, rear three-quarter view again, but a very, very different car. Slightly newer, but what car is it? There you go, it's the Austin A40 Farina Saloon, not the Countryman version. The Countryman had the lift-up rear window, of course, but this has the fixed rear window and just the opening boot lid below. Okay, what is this particular car? We've seen something similar already, but not this particular version. There's the answer. This car is the Humber Scepter. Very nice indeed. This one dating to 1966, going off its D registration. Okay, number 41 in the classic car quiz. Close in view of a slightly oddball version of a fairly mainstream car. So I need to know what version this is of what particular car. There's your answer. This is a Mumford convertible version of the Morris Marina TC. TC for twin carburetors. This was down at Bicester Heritage, I believe. Probably the only one of those I've actually seen. Okay, number 42 in the classic car quiz. What car is this one? I'll give you one clue. They were made either side of World War II. There is your answer. It's the Morris 8 Series E with the original slopey headlamps. Many people converted them to seal beam units and they look very different, and that's got the original slopey headlamps. A two-door version, there was also a four-door and a tourer. Okay, something slightly sporty, 1980s, but what is it? Not too many more to go now. If you're still with me, if you're still having a go at this quiz, thank you very much for sticking with it. And this car is the Ford RS200. Body panels by Reliant. Okay, we're up to number 44. And what is this? That front indicator and side lamp unit, I believe, was used on other cars. But what car is this particular example? It is the Alvis TE21, a very fine motor car indeed. This yellow and white car is question number 45. Should be enough there to give the game away. What car is this one? And it is the Austin-built Metropolitan. Early cars were sold in the States as the Nash Metropolitan, and after a short time they began to sell them here as the Austin Metropolitan as well. Just a few more to go. Here's number 46, a white two-door car. Should be enough there to give the game away. What car is this one? It is the Herald-based or Vitesse-based Bond Equipe. Right, I've made it to number 47. This is a bit of an obscure one, but if you know your 50s cars, you'll probably know what this is. And it is the Ashley 750, another home-built special. This one was based on Austin 7 running gear. You can see the 3-stud wheel fixings of the Austin 7 just there. So you throw away the original body and put a sporty fiberglass body on instead, and you've got yourself a cheap sports car. Not so cheap, but also sporting, is car number 48. But what is this particular car? Very nice they are too, quite a rare sight. And it is the Reliant Sabre 6. That particular body shell was based on the old Ashley 1172 special, Ford-based special of the late 50s, early 1960s. Beautiful car, straight 6, often with Raymond May's conversion. Car number 49 now, post-war car, rarely seen nowadays, but what is it? Got just one more to go after this and then you're all done. That car is the AC 2-litre. Shades of Jaguar in the styling there. And to round out this third old classic car quiz, we have car number 50. I need the exact model for this one, please. Probably no problem guessing the general car, but what is this specific model? And it is the ERA Mini Turbo. And that lovely little Mini rounds out the third old classic car quiz. If you tot up your totals and work out what you scored, and let me know in the comments how well you got on. Also let me know if that was too easy or too difficult, and I'll sort of bear that in mind when preparing future quizzes. Like I say, there are 2 quizzes already on the channel, so if you fancy having another go at this kind of thing, have a look for those that are already on here. And thanks for giving this one a go, and there'll be more videos along very, very soon. So bye for now, and thanks for giving this quiz a try.